How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.
So what will happen the day Gujarat Titans are 3 down early? We'll have to wait another day to find out. Once again, machine-like efficiency from the Titans, led by Shubman Gill, Sai Sudarshan and Jos Buttler playing their part. 106 balls out of 120 faced by the top three. They post another score in excess of 200, 209 for fours by this game at Jaipur stands. This is Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket Info. Timeout. Ian Bishop, Varun Aaron and ESPN Cricket Info's very own Dustin Silgardo to break down what we've seen before. This is a movie we've all seen before. So is 209 plenty, like just typical Titans? Or should they've got more?
They could have gotten more, I feel, but maybe 5 or 7, 10 runs more. But I think it is enough on this ground with their bowling, which looks like in really good form.
It's a machine, aren't they? They're just a machine of efficiency, these three at the top.
They've got a template that they work by and they've worked clinically at it in terms of carrying out that template. Sai was a little bit more cautious today, but it was great to see Shubman Gill continue his good form for them the last few games.
Yeah, it's 2 big innings from Gill now. It's probably climbing up that orange cap leaderboard too. Dustin, what's the story?
I mean, just the same from GT almost every game. Once again, in the power play, they were just under 9, which is standard for them. Their season power play strike rate, run rate is about 9.1. And then of all the teams, they're the one team that really carries on after the power play, obviously because they conserve wickets. And so, yeah, their season post-power play run rate is now 10.57. So they've got a 1.46 differential in terms of post-power play and power play. And what's interesting is Rajasthan Royals are actually at the opposite end of that spectrum. Rajasthan Royals in the power play are 10.4, but then post-power play 8.86, so they're minus 1.5. But of course, post-power play is 14 overs. Rajasthan Royals start well,
I'm dumb.
slow down.
Yes.
Gujarat Titans build throughout the innings.
Very good, very good. What I find with the Titans is, and maybe they'll win this game as well, but someday they'll come up against a strong batting team in form. Maybe the dew will come in the second innings, small ground, whatever, all that. And they just don't seem like they'll ever be in a place to get 230 or 225 like RCB have gotten on some days, like SRH can get, like Punjab Kings can get, MI to a degree as well, even though we may not have seen it this season. Is that because of how they set up? That's one of the things they can't do?
I think if we take today as an example, Jos Buttler not being on strike for 10 balls at the end was a big factor. So I think sometimes it just boils down to game smarts where the batsman comes in and says, you know what, this batsman's going really well, let me put him on strike instead of trying themselves. But that being said, the other 3 batsmen who came in struck at 168, 200 and I think 2 batsmen were at 200.
Yeah, I mean, they usually what they do is they club those together. So between Washi, Tewati and Shahrukh, if you get 27 of 14, you're happy.
Can I ask a question on that last 3 though? Is it normal with 2.5 overs, maybe 3 overs to go, that Washi would come in ahead of Tiwatia and Shahrukh?
It took us by surprise. Did it take you by surprise as well?
Because that's what Tiwatia is paid for, to finish games. That's what Shahrukh Khan is probably making his name off of, that power hitting at the end. So Washington can bat, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Washi can't bat, but you've got finishers, dedicated finishers with great power who are striking at close to 200 for the season. This is a guy who's striking at 161.
But the one thing I can add with Washi, I agree with Bish. Shahrukh or Tewati should have come in, but their reasoning of sending Washi could have been that Washi is actually a good batsman of pace. So with Archer's 1 over being left, which hit him for a 6 as well, they just brought him in for that. But I'm with you. I'm just trying to offer a reason why GT could have done that.
No, I was about to make the same point that maybe it was just Archer specific because Washi can hit balls behind the wicket. Shahrukh and Tewatia like to go over mid-wicket.
Oh, Tewatia can hit balls behind.
He can, which is why maybe again he came in ahead of Shahrukh.
This is why Tewatia is paid to come in at the end. And the guys who are paid to come in at the end are guys who have to play fast bowling well because the spinner really bowls that.
100%. Now, Washi's got you 13 of 8.
Yeah, and they've gone at almost 13 and over in the
you will get, I'm just trying to come, and again, I'm saying, GT are probably going to finish top 2. They might very well win this game. But this is just the larger picture conversation, given Rajasthan Royals do not look like a team that will make anywhere near the top half. So if you have 10 balls there, that is where Tim David comes in and earns his living. What Bish is saying, or you get in Andre Russell or Hardik Pandya, these guys come. Then those 8 balls can be 24, 25, which are the 7, 10 runs you speak of. So you give Tewatia that. If he gets out, you have somebody else after that.
But GT, I think they're the fastest scoring team in the death this season.
But
So they're not slow in the death overs.
The fastest scoring team between 16 and 20, you're saying,
Yeah.
batting first.
I'll have to check whether that's
Yeah,
both
because
batting
that stat
first
is a
and
little
second.
devoid
But,
of context.
but almost 13 today. That's not bad.
It's not a
Yeah.
it's not a criticism of what they've done.
Absolutely.
But we're looking to fine tune and be efficient, as you said. And I'll give you credit this time for what you said. Looking forward at big picture.
100%. Because I'll tell you what I'm saying. Even though they've got 209 and Titans might think that's great, we've got an amazing bowling attack, etc., etc. Any chasing team is still in the game. What their form is and all that is secondary. But a chasing team would say, yeah, okay, we can get 210. Like I'm sure even the Knight Riders would have felt like they should have got 200 plus. It's another thing that their bowling is also strong. So are they actually a team that doesn't care about 230? Because I think Dustin made the point earlier that we have a good enough team. So we are actually aiming for 190 every game. And if we get 209, we're 20 above par.
Yeah, but see, they don't have to panic that much because they also have a really good bowling attack who's getting a lot of wickets up front, in the middle.
100%.
So why should they think that way? If they're getting above 200 with a bowling attack like that, they shouldn't panic, according to me.
Yeah, okay. I think, I hope we're not misunderstanding the tone of this conversation.
Yeah.
It's very much GT's template. They could win this easily. Let's get into that. But let's just reflect on a few innings. Shubman Gill. I think we're now seeing Gill hit a bit of a hot zone. While he started well and played shorter innings, which were ultra aggressive. Now we're seeing the Gill of 2023, dare I say.
I think Shubman Gill is one of those characters who doesn't like to see anybody outshine him. That too in his own team, his own batting partner. So it must be because he likes to be on top of things. I'm not saying it in a negative way. Because if you see all players who boss a certain team. Format or team, they want to be the number one. So him seeing Sai Sudarshan, it's healthy competition because if both of them do well, team's obviously winning. So I think Gill has upped his game after a few games to be like, what, even I can get that orange.
Alpha, the alpha of the team.
He was playing a few shots in the air early in the IPL is what I found in the numbers compared to previous seasons. But he's kind of gone back on that now in the power play today. 3 fours, no sixes. So looking to play along the ground early and then just increasing. After that, he had 4 sixes after the power play. So, yeah.
Bish, most impressive aspect of Gill's batting today for you was?
Some of the outside of the power play, the way that he was able to pick up a few of those shots, his timing of the ball today was Shubman Gill at his crisp best when he's hitting the ball. He played an extra cover drive or just to the left of long off, and he just held the pose, and that was Gill, the sound of the bat.
One more thing, when Gill can play the horizontal bat shot and the vertical bat shot in the same over to the same bowler, that's when you know you're in danger.
Yeah.
Because he's picking up a ball which is this high there, and then if you pitch it full, he's playing the most beautiful a straight dive down the ground. And as a bowler, what do you do? Like even that shot Sai Sudarshan played of Jofra Archer, oh my God. It's a very difficult shot to execute. It's really, if you're bowling at 146
I just liked your expression of it.
Yeah, like Archer, he bowled that ball at 146, okay, on like just below his thigh guard. And he's picked it up for 6 like this. You're like,
he was drooling. We were sitting here together when he played it. I tell you, he was animated much more than he is now.
Because it looks really simple. It is not that simple.
All right, point well taken. Jos Buttler, is he perhaps most versatile T20 batter there is? Whatever his entry point, early loss of wicket, middle overs, finisher, batting first, chasing, all that seems like Butler's just...
Raunak, you're asking this question in the wrong studio. I think you should go to the ground and ask Rajasthan Royals that.
Until I get to the ground, let me ask you. You're at the ground, you should be asking. No, Bish as well.
Bish, who lets go of Jos Buttler, Bish?
I understood where you're coming.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was looking at it from another.
No, I'm looking at exactly that. This would have been so sweet for Jos.
Yeah.
And with every game, Rajasthan would just be feeling...
So why, if he is certainly one of the most versatile, why is that? Why is he? He's obviously one of the white ball greats of this generation.
Sure.
What is he bringing? We talked about SRH and that lack of versatility in some of their batters earlier. Is it a mindset? Is it a technique? He hasn't played a lot of red ball cricket for a long time, but he's played test match cricket and a lot of first-class cricket. Does that help with versatility? Is that a template that more guys should be looking to, or is it just his mind?
Surely a lot of it is that, isn't it? Because so many people have the ability. So many people have game. But Butler's numbers in chases is what stands out. And if you apply that, it just tells you the man just understands the situation of T20 games.
The other thing is, I mean, we were talking about with KKR how a lot of their batters have at least one weakness. With Buttler, there isn't a weakness. He strikes fast against spin. He strikes fast against pace. Whatever kind of delivery you give him, unless it's a really beautiful in-swinger or outswinger.
But he still has to, I think to Raunak's point, he still has to be able to set it up, to calculate it, to have the patience and deliberateness to pace it effectively. Because a lot of people have skill. There are other batsmen who can play pace and spin well, probably not as well. But to calculate it and execute it.
I think, like, apart from the obvious, which we all know, and people obviously know that he's a great batsman, hockey hands, XYZ, I think him just being that one go-to batsman for RR over the years has just made his mindset so bulletproof that he knows that he has to carry the game and take the game deep. Because if you remember, he was like that one batsman who could change the game for RR and who they really depended on. 100%. So when you go into that mindset and feel like, you know what, I'm the one, I need to take the team deep and finish it off as well, it just becomes more...
Might I throw in another one over here?
That confirms it.
I'll throw in one more thing. In the early parts of this year's IPL, we had a fairly long debate on whether GT got the top three right or should Buttler be opening. And a number of our guests said Butler's best impact is at the top. Why don't you give him the best chance to face as many balls by opening so that he can impact the game if he plays 40, 50 balls? In some ways, perhaps GT have hit a bit of a masterstroke by putting him at 3. Because if there was a vulnerability, and I think you can dig that up in time, it was the incoming ball to Buttler early on when it used to swing. Some bowlers have had success against him. Given he has no weakness against spin, that Buttler actually coming in when most of the times with this pair the power play is done has also taken away perhaps that one vulnerability. Have they hit a masterstroke? Because I know a lot of people on our panel were saying, no, Buttler should still open. Gill can bat 3. Sai can bat 3.
I think it was a no-brainer. Their hand was forced to have Buttler at number 3, irrespective of anything, because Gill and Sudarshan cannot bat 3. It's 2 for them. Buttler is way more experienced and more versatile.
I remember the early parts of the season where they said maybe the lack of power between Gill and Sudarshan will come in by then, so let's throw Buttler up.
I asked Shubman that at one of the tosses, actually, and whether he was telling the truth and being totally honest, I don't know, but he said they liked the chemistry that himself and Sai had finished the season with last year. They liked the left-right combination at the very top.
Sure.
And you don't lose anything with Buttler, who's batted as low as 5 for England in international cricket, in probably in ODIs. So
100%.
Lesser of all the evils.
All right, brilliant. It's all working. Quick word on Rajasthan Royals bowling before we head to the chase.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Bish if he was happy with the choices in the power play, because you were talking about stacking the bowling early. They gave Archer, I think, the first over, fourth over. There were 2 from Teekshana in the power play, just 1 from Sandeep. And then the 7th over, I think, was Riyan Parag. Were you okay with the choices, or would you have gone with more of the best bowlers early?
I think you had to go with your best bowlers early, but those best bowlers haven't been in great form in the power play. So Teekshana back in the last 2 games to doing what he's done for so many years for Sri Lanka with that new ball, not a bad option, but I think it's a quality I'd look at more than the selection.
Okay, I can very quickly tell you, I want to discuss more things here about Wanindu Asaranga's lack of impact, some of the fielding, which has left a lot to be desired. But Shubman Gill has been impact subbed out. So Rashid Khan will lead in this chase. Surely some sort of niggle or injury
has to be
picked up while batting, if not carried into this game.
No, has to be, because you don't want to be taking a risk with Shubman Gill's fitness. You want him to be, even if he has the slightest niggle or could be a cramp, you never know. That's the only reason I see they would sub him out.
Did anybody notice anything while he was batting?
No. I mean, it didn't look like while he was batting, no, yeah.
All right. Well, okay. We'll find out perhaps at the end of the game when Shubman Gill does speak. But Siraj is bowling, and Rashid Khan is more than competent and experienced captain in IPL cricket. But yeah, let's get predictions now. Rajasthan Royals in a chase. Good luck, gentlemen. Dustin.
What the heck? I'll say Rajasthan to win, just to be different.
How do you know it's different when you're the first one? Varun,
I would say last over finish, Rajasthan lose.
last over finished Rajasthan rules. How many? 9 to get of the last over?
12.
12. All right. Change it up a bit. Bish?
They're playing that extra batting with the impact player, Rajasthan Royals, but I'm still going to go GT.
GT.
When I said be different, I mean different from Rajasthan's previous games.
Comfortable. Is it going to be easy? You remember that game, Bish? PBKS, KKR, you were with us?
Yeah, you made me say comfortable and it never happened. So.
Right, go on then. Okay, fine. Let's get this conversation going. If Rajasthan get over the line today, that may at least keep them alive mathematically, but it also has impact on the race to the top 2 and the top 4 for the Titans. So should be a great conversation just the same. With Ian Bishop, Varun Aaron and Dustin join us at the end of it all on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout.
How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.